Paul, so as I've sort of alluded to over some emails to catch up today, the reason for seeing you is I just wanted to get some sort of medical advice about a stunt that we're doing for the launch of my company. We're building a computer inside a tablet, basically. You know, there's wearable technology, we're kind of working with ingestible technology here, and essentially the size of the tablet is roughly about 35mm by 18mm, and we're going to have batteries inside of it. There's going to be a chip that can obviously send signals via Bluetooth. Just wanted to get a feel from you around how you feel about something like that and sort of the risks and complications that could come about swallowing something of that size. So.
You want to swallow this tablet down?
Yes.
Have you done a sort of a comparison to see how big this thing is?
We've built some mock-ups just by using BlueTack, and I've compared that to some other tablets that you would just swallow normally, like a multivitamin or a fish oil tablet, and look, it is bigger, but I wouldn't say that it's shockingly larger.
What's the tablet made of, the outer shell, Chris?
There are companies that produce similar products like a PillCam, and the material of the surface casing is really, I believe, the same material.
So it's not dissolvable, it's a hard shell on the outside.
Correct.
Well, the PillCam you talked about, it's a camera that people can ingest. That's a 2 by 1 centimetre camera. There's about a 1 in 100 chance that camera will get stuck. This is pretty much close to twice the size now. There's 3 or 4 places this can get stuck. The first place is in your upper airways. You could choke, you could regurgitate. The second place it can get stuck is between the junction of your gullet and your stomach. People that rush eating dinner, don't chew their steaks, quite often will get a plug of meat stuck there. The only way these things can be removed is either vomiting it or with a thing called a gastroscope. That'll be an urgent thing. There'll be no mucking around, you'll have to go to emergency, you'll have to be done straight away.
All right.
Then it's going to get from your small bowel to your large bowel. And if it gets jammed there, what eventually you might do is develop what I call a bowel obstruction. So all the contents of all the food you've been eating for a while will start to jam up behind this, and your intestine will start to dilate. If it ruptures, it's a disaster. You'll need to have urgent surgery. It'll be a cut from just below your chest bone to just above your pubic bone. You'll almost certainly, if you do rupture, have to have a bag for a while.
Sorry, you're talking about a bag. I mean, how long?
A bag, a colostomy bag.
It's not a permanent thing though, right?
Well, you'll probably have it for a few months.
I'm sure that'll look great around the office, right?
Won't be good. But the risks of all these things happening is probably a 1 or 2% chance it might get stuck here, another 1 or 2% chance it might get stuck at the junction of your gullet and your stomach, and then another 2% chance it might get stuck at the junction of your small and large bowel. So adding up, there's about a 5% risk.
What actually happens if the pill itself splits?
Probably it'll still pass through. The stomach has an acid in it and it's about pH of 2, so it dissolves most things.
The question I really want to ask is, would you recommend that this is something that I actually go forward with?
Absolutely not, Chris. As your doctor, I couldn't recommend this to be done.
So having just seen the doctor, I guess I've got mixed emotions. When we talk about the percentage of risk that something that could go wrong, it's low, but then if something does go wrong, the level of surgery that I'm going to have is pretty full on. And whilst I'm okay with that, I guess it's what your family members might have to go through with seeing you do something like that. So yeah, it's certainly given me a lot more to think about.